Hello everybody, Max Bomb here as usual, and today I'm going to be talking about how to kill Call of Duty and end its reign of terror on the gaming industry. Now, I know COD was a good franchise, emphasis on the was, but in all honesty, the games have been going downhill since MW3, maybe MW2. Some people would argue that Ghost is an amazing game. If you're one of those people, feel free to click away right now because this commentary will most likely just piss you off. And I'm a little mad right now myself because I was trying to play TF2 and I could not do well. So I'm like, screw it, and I'm gonna go make a commentary instead of smashing my computer into the ground. So please excuse the angry tone throughout. This will not be a rant, at least I don't intend it to, but we will see. The first thing you need to understand to beat Call of Duty is how it became successful in the first place. So we'll need to go back to the beginning, when it first became popular, which in my opinion was MW2. Some might say MW4, but MW2, or not MW4, Call of Duty 4. But MW3 had around 15 million purchases. That was compared to COD 4, which had 9 million, but that's completely irrelevant. MW2 was the beginning. That was when it first got known as the top-selling game. What Call of Duty did was implement what I call the noob complex. If you've been following my videos, you know exactly what that is. If you don't, in the nutshell, it's just simply catering to the new players, helping them out, giving them little advantages over the more skilled, experienced players. MW2 was the first FPS game to orient itself like that, helping out the new guys. In this way, MW2 was a game everyone can play. A high school gaming legend or that 6-year-old that lives down the street. Before this, games were like a sport. You had to invest a lot of time and effort to be good at a game. You weren't just good at it the first time you picked it up. MW2 changed that, making it so everyone can have the same amount of fun even without putting in any extra effort. And people were very attracted to that, and that's how the franchise became the legend it is today. With that in mind, most COD players, not all, but most, are just casual gamers that play the game for the hell of it. As a pastime, not as a lifestyle like a lot of YouTubers are. It's not a religion to them, like a lot of these YouTubers you see out there that game every day, all day, every day. It's just a game, and it's a good game to them. They don't care about the game mechanics. They don't care about anything like that. They're there to play, that's all. All they know is Call of Duty. And to them, a new Call of Duty game is just new maps, new weapons, and new killstreak rewards. And that's the end of it. They buy COD because their friends bought it. I was one of those guys a while ago. Well, not that long ago, actually. I had Halo, and Halo was my game. It was all about Halo. There was nothing special about Halo compared to any FPS games, but it was the only game whose maps I had memorized. So I just played that, you know? It was all the same. COD, Halo, Battlefield, there was really no difference. And I started getting into YouTube, like I watched like some YouTube videos after I'd pretty much mastered Halo, and it kind of opened my eyes to the rest of the gaming world and its advantages over Halo. Battlefield compared to Call of Duty, Halo compared to Call of Duty. All these different things, there's different game mechanics, everything goes into the making of this game. But I had never realized the harsh differences between games, and probably 90% of gamers are just like that today. They have no idea the difference between, say, Call of Duty and Battlefield because they never bothered to learn it. They never bothered to analyze the game. I have friends that say they absolutely love COD Ghosts. They are mindless sheep. Not saying all people that like Ghosts are mindless sheep, but I would say 95% are. They follow the crowd that doesn't know anything about gaming, that does it just for just a pastime, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But they're investing their money into a bad game. And those people, they follow the crowd. It's the crowd of Call of Duty players. And everyone in that crowd is following the guy in front of them. That's it. With that metaphor in mind, there must be a front of the crowd, or a leader that's choosing where to lead this massive crowd that's following him. Obviously not one person, but the point is, someone has to alter the path of these mindless sheep. Everyone is, the pack of gamers is all focused on Call of Duty. And there's a lot of people that don't like Call of Duty, even some of the mindless sheep. But they keep buying Call of Duty because they see there's nothing else to do. They don't their friend bought Call of Duty, and they can't play with their friend if they don't have Call of Duty. So they buy it anyway, and next thing you know, everybody owns Call of Duty, even though the game sucks. So there needs to be a new game to lead this massive herd to a new game, to something better than Call of Duty. The only way to kill COD is to turn all of our sheep in a new direction, because we can't make them open their eyes and see COD for what it is. It won't work. We need a new game to tempt them towards it and away from COD. And this new COD killing game needs also to cater to the new players, just like COD did. It has to be very similar to COD, but it has to also, we don't want it to be the devil itself, right? We need it to change things too. But make these changes slow. They have to attract their audience first, before they worry about any of that. The new game, the new COD killing game, has to attract this casual fan base. Battlefield would not be a COD killer because it's not noob friendly. You have huge maps, tons of weapons, and huge weapon kickbacks, plus a million other things that would turn off a new player. Battlefield has been trying to be the COD killer with no avail. With the launch of Battlefield 4 this year, they came out, I believe it was, a week before Ghost did, in an attempt to steal some of COD's fans. And they had a rush launch because of it, and we all know how bad that went. And now there's a rumor going around about how there's going to be an annual Battlefield title to compete with COD each year, because what's happening is players are buying Battlefield, and then they play that, but they get sick of it. They get sick of the game after a year, as would be the case with any game. Then they move back over to the next COD, because Battlefield still won't have a game out for another year. Then Battlefield has to win back all of those customers, and that's bad. And that's just a rumor about an annual release, but the more I think about it, the more likely it seems. But since Battlefield is not a noob-friendly game, it can never truly completely kill COD, unless it completely changes around its gameplay and game mechanics, and that's an entirely separate commentary, guys. I won't even get into that, because that would be all bad. At any rate, the only way to kill COD would be to make a better game than COD. And at this point, that's not that hard. But in addition to that, they have to attract that new fan base. And I say die, when I say die, they're not actually going to die. COD will not be completely obliterated. They're not just nobody ever will buy COD again. Probably not, unless they stop making Call of Duty games, which, again, is completely another commentary. But more likely, it will be simply dethroned as the leader of the FPS genre. I mean, people will still buy Call of Duty, but not nearly as many. Halo, for instance, was once the leader in the FPS games, and look at it now. They're still coming out with new Halos, and people still buy the game, but it's no longer the almighty force that it was 5 years ago. I thought Titanfall would be the trick to end COD, and I still think it can, maybe in the future, Titanfall 2, 3. I mean, this is the developer's first run with the Xbox One, and they have to see what the fanbase wants with the franchise, then move from there. But the first thing Titanfall has to do is to attract the audience to them and make them stay. And really, Titanfall had a pretty attractive game. I mean, giant robots, parkour everywhere. That's pretty cool. I mean, I thought the game would do great. It did do pretty good in my opinion, but not everyone feels that way. But it's not about who has the better game anymore. It's about who can maintain these people, who can keep them there. In my opinion, and some people may disagree, but I think Battlefield is a much better game than Call of Duty. But people that do buy Battlefield don't take the time to get to know it. And for a new player, yeah, Battlefield pretty much blows. Battlefield doesn't retain the audience because, like I said before, people want quick access to fun. They don't want to train themselves to be good at Battlefield. They want to hop on the game after school for an hour and that's it. The key is keeping your audience. With that in mind, what keeps all you occupied in a game? I mean, you are the gamers. Tell me what you guys like. What makes you want to play more of that game? Answer in the comments below. Sorry, gone way too long, so this has been Max Baum. See ya.